Objection regarding imports of pet food from Saudi Arabia, and I give the floor to Joël Mélan from ID.
Oui, merci, Monsieur le.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Well, this is minimalist communication going through delegated acts and comitology that the Commission is adding Saudi Arabia to a list of third countries where poultry-based animals, meat can be put in pet food and imported into the EU, saying that the Saudi Arabian authorities have provided the appropriate information and the possibility to exert specific controls on these imports. There are three reasons why we should reject this, however. We don't need these imports. We can see that there's too many already of these imports, and they're increasing as well. If we're just going to open Europe's doors to third country imports, that's not good. In reality, what we're looking at here is undermining our social and environmental standards, because truth be told, the EU does not have the resources to carry out specific and appropriate checks on the technical specifications that the third country companies would have to respect. So we should apply the precautionary principle. Secondly, no less important than the first, Saudi Arabia applies Sharia law, which uses forms of slaughtering animals without any kind of stunning. And so we know that there's no analgesic application for these animals. We have to respect the rights of animals. Thirdly, the validation of these decisions seems to be a trade partnership being put together bit by bit with a country which I'm sure you would agree, Chairman, does not support the values that we defend here in the European Parliament. Very often the finger is pointed at Saudi Arabia for not respecting international rights. It's a country where journalists are killed, where officially and regularly they are financing terrorism. They violate the rights of women seriously, and also human rights are not respected in this country. For all these reasons, we cannot support the proposal coming from the Commission, and we would ask you, colleagues, to support this objection. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. So, for political groups, let's start with the EPP.
Thank you, Chair. As the EPP shadow rapporteur on this file, I'm against the objection to the implementing act on imports of pet food from Saudi Arabia. Why? Due to the following reasons. First of all, the authorities of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia assure that the country complies with the relevant health conditions and guarantees the control concerning the production of poultry origin. Therefore, I think adding Saudi Arabia to the list of third countries from where processed pet food can be imported into and transit through the EU is justified. The whole authorization process follows all the applicable international standards and EU norms, and voting for the objection would mean not having respected the principles for rule-based trade. And to conclude, therefore, I propose to reject this objection. Thank you.
Thank you. For S&D.
Tak for det.
Thank you. This time, I know a bit more about it, so I can give you an explanation. The S&D will not support this for some of the same reasons I've heard from the EPP. First of all, we have a number of countries which are allowed to the EU, Turkey, Morocco, Israel, where the same type of slaughter takes place. And we allow this practice within the EU today. So we don't think there should be any discrimination between countries. Having said that, the S&D would like to discuss whether, in general terms, we can raise animal welfare with the countries we trade with. We don't think that this objection is the means to do this, so the S&D will vote no to this objection. Thank you.
For Renew, Mr. Stefanota.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to commend the rapporteur for her point addressed here, but I would like to make it more of a question of principle. And maybe it's not directly linked, but it's important nevertheless. I know that we discussed the issue of animal transportation in many fora here in the European Parliament, but just this week in Romania, in the country where I came from, a large cargo of 14,000 sheep drowned in the Black Sea. And that was traced back to the international agreement, because once you are on the international high waters, no longer EU laws apply. So I would like actually to get a clarification from the Commission. What can we do to insert in these bilateral treaties clauses that reinforce our animal welfare standards and others, as such as the ones mentioned by the rapporteur?
Thank you. For the Greens, I have no speaker.
I think it's a very important topic, but we're still indeed discussing. The main topic is animal welfare here, considering and what we can do to make this better. But we're still discussing on the resolution in order not to discriminate, as Andy was telling some countries. Then we have to have general regulation protecting animal welfare better, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. For ECR.
Thank you, Chairman. We do not agree with the objectors. Like the previous, we are for the free trade, and its Commission has stated that it's fine. We don't have any reason not to believe them, and we do not believe that this is the best way how to fight with Saudi Arabia, so we disagree with the objection.
Thank you. And for the GUE? No speaker. No speaker. Okay, interesting. So for the Commission, DG Santé for 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon. The Commission considers that the draft regulation is fully in line with the implementing powers, aim and content provided in the Basic Act. Any non-EU country applying to be authorized for imports of products of animal origin is subject to rigorous assessment in order to ensure that it can comply with the relevant public and animal health conditions and deliver sufficient warranties regarding the controls carried out along the production chain and of the final products. The Commission attaches great importance to animal welfare, including the protection of animals at the time of slaughter. And for this reason, Article 12 of Regulation 1019/2009, as agreed by the co-legislators, imposes concrete requirements as regards the imports of meat from third countries. However, these requirements do not apply to animal byproducts or derived products such as pet food. In addition, international trade in pet food is subject to the food safety and animal health measures set out in the basic rules of the World Trade Organization. According to this, pet food must meet the public and animal health standards set out in the Terrestrial Animal Health Code of the World Organization for Animal Health. However, this code does not contain any provision on animal welfare in case of pet food. Following the application of Saudi Arabia for imports of pet food to the Union, the Commission assessed the control system in place and found that it is capable of providing the warranties required by the EU rules. Based on Article 13 of the Treaty of the Functioning of the European Union, Article 44 of Regulation number 1099/2009 provides a derogation from stunning in case of ritual slaughter in a slaughterhouse. The Union has to respect the freedom of religion and the right to manifest religion on belief in worship, teaching, practice and observance as enriched in Article 10 of the Charter of Fundamental Rights of the European Union. The Commission believes that the European Union legislation properly reflects the appropriate and careful balance between considerations related to animal welfare and freedom of religion. Pet food from Saudi Arabia intended for imports into the Union will be composed of poultry meat produced in the European Union, third countries approved to import pet food into the Union, and Saudi Arabia. There are currently 57 countries approved for imports of pet food into the Union. And to finalize, Mr. Chairman, the Commission notes that if the application was adopted, it would set a precedent for non-respect by the EU for international standards regarding trade in products of animal origin, notably pet food. This runs contrary to a rules-based approach governing international trade.
Thank you. So we will vote tomorrow on this objection. We can move to